Hello, Dr. Shannon, my fellow classmates. My name is Connor Walsh, and today I will be briefing you on the 1995 motion picture Crimson Tide. This film takes place just after the Cold War, as a group of Russian rebels have acquired ICBM missiles after overtaking a base, causing the U.S. Navy to react with force. Captain Frank Ramsey, played by Gene Hackman, and Lieutenant Commander Ron Hunter, played by Denzel Washington, are sailors aboard the USS Alabama and have received initial orders to fire on the rebels. During the middle of the film, the two come to a heated conflict after an enemy sub knocks out their communication system, stopping an incoming emergency message that contained details on the confirmation of their launch orders. They continually verbalize their opinions on whether they should launch or not, with Captain Ramsey strongly voicing they should, while Executive Officer Hunter stating that he does not concur the launch should happen until they receive official order from the base. Now, Captain Ramsey does not heed his second-in-command's wishes and then motions to have him put into custody by the Chief of Boat. Hunter then recites the Navy regulations that demand the captain cannot launch without the mutual agreement of the XO, and the captain is abusing his powers while being in direct violation of Navy protocol. Hunter has the Chief of Boat then removed from, Hunter has the Chief of Boat remove the captain from his position. This intense situation showed many characteristics of both main characters and revealed their true leadership styles while dealing with internal and external conflict. I believe Captain Ramsey is an authoritative leader, primarily using his experience and seniority to outweigh the opinions of many others, relying on violence or even abusive language to disregard what others have to say. Captain Ramsey is a respected man who has served the Navy for a long time. With his track record and combat experience, make for an effective fit as captain of the Alabama. Unfortunately, throughout the course of events in this movie, his ego overtakes his logic and his decision-making in conflict scenarios. So from the beginning of the film, Captain Ramsey portrayed a very task-oriented leadership style, focusing on getting things done but not worried about how the job is completed. Captain Ramsey completely disregards Hunter and any opinions he may have or how to approach the situation of launching the missiles without first having that confirmation of the order. In the process of shutting down Hunter and his possible solutions, he becomes enraged, loses his focus, and how he chooses to proceed. If the captain does launch these missiles without approval, he could start the deadliest war to date, causing millions or billions of casualties in the fallout of a nuclear war. The young XO Hunter is an intelligent family man that doesn't come with the credibility of someone with a combat record, but his education and progression through the naval ranks should more than qualify him to be the number 2 man on the Alabama. His approach to the situation was very participative, and working together to pursue the most logical and legal course of action was his goal. He kept his cool and relied on his knowledge of Navy regulations to state where the captain did overstep his authority without seconding the motion of launching the warheads. I believe that Commander Hunter believes in situational leadership and would like to include all the time, including the leader, Captain Ramsey, who does not want to work with him. So, referring back to our discussion a few weeks back, we covered the ethical dilemma that the Chief of Boat had to face as a third party to the conflict between the protagonists. You can see in his face he's having issues on who to side with, but when the XO begins to state the regulations involved and their duty to the Navy to follow these orders, the COB has to side with Hunter by removing the captain from his seat in order to proceed with the situation properly. This was the right decision of the COB to follow the naval code that every sailor is obliged to upkeep, specifically the area between the captain and the XO, coming to that mutual agreement on weapon launches. So in addition to the COB's involvement, we discussed what step of the decision-making model would best suit the situation. Many of you, including myself, concluded that step 2, or offering additional solutions, was the best available option to defuse the argument. Hunter actually began to try and implement this step, but was unable to, given how the captain continued to interrupt him, disrespect him, and even physically assault him at one point. The captain was very unwilling to cooperate, which could jeopardize their lives as well as numerous others that could fall to any nuclear launches if that did happen. So when it comes to my opinion on leadership style, I have decided with the XO on his decision to be a situational leader that can keep a level head, accept others' opinions, and really give alternate solutions. I found myself in leadership situations where I'm in a group or a team, I have always felt more comfortable including those that I'm around so they could be directly affected and involved. This brings together through collaboration, but also brings a group together as a team. Teamwork is so important for success of an organization, and every leader should really be implementing a certain level of teamwork, group cooperation, whatever you call it, to achieve their goals together. This style has been so evident in sports. When a game can take a swing of momentum like that, and the intensity can turn up. In a football game, a team can score a touchdown, kick off, and then 10 seconds later, the returning team could just run it back for another touchdown, and you've made no progress. So things can change very quick, and a player coach must be ready to take charge of whatever task or goal may be needed to achieve. In basketball, which is what I know more of, teams can feed off energy in a quick run, or a team not being confident or locked in, showing just how vital each decision you make is. Now, there's no exact scoreboard in Crimson Tide, but I think you get what I'm getting at. Situational leadership is so useful on many levels, and adopting it to whatever organization you're a part of in your life could be very important. So back to the film, there were many scenarios that involved leader and follower interaction, but there was a specific moment in the film that was impactful to me as a viewer. In the first half hour of the movie, Captain Ramsey is sitting with a group of crew, including XO Hunter, and they get on the topic of warfare in today's world. Hunter believes that there is something more complicated about warfare, whereas Ramsey simply means it's just destroying the enemy. And Hunter goes on to say, in the nuclear world, the true enemy is war itself. It kind of hits the group hard and leaves Ramsey quiet, adding to the tension that moves forward even up to the climax of the film. So Lieutenant Commander Hunter is a very active follower by voicing his opinion, by not disrespecting his leader, and seems to portray two key follower styles. He is a star follower because of his participation and positive attitude, but he doesn't accept blind orders, and he's able to perform without the presence of the leader, as seen later in the film. The other follower trait that he portrays is that of an alienated follower, just in the way that he has specific thoughts on topics that do not add up completely with Ramsey, and this ends up bothering the captain that he doesn't see eye to eye with his executive officer. So through this briefing, I've covered a summary of the events in the movie Crimson Tide, the leadership style used by both Captain Ramsey and Lieutenant Commander Hunter, our recent group discussion on the ethical dilemma facing the COB, and an example of a leader-follower exchange that I personally found interesting. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to hearing your feedback and also giving you some on your other briefings too. Have a great day, young leaders. Appreciate it.